Yeah, we know we're a little late on this one, but I couldn't pass putting together a facts video for this. Miside seems like a normal, anime-style, 3D dating sim-like game, but there's a darkness hiding behind the bubbly exterior. This is 107 facts about Miside. Let's get started. Number 1. Miside was developed by iHosto, a Russian-based developer whose other games include Umfend and Wirelips, which, like Miside, are horror games, so go check them out and support iHosto. Number 2. Miside released on December 10th, 2024, and exploded in popularity, gaining as many as 40,000 Steam reviews within a matter of weeks. Even the team at iHosto said in a blog post, quote, "Before the game's release, we never expected Miside to be so popular. We are very grateful to every player who supports us." You know, it's always nice seeing indie teams succeed. Number 3. In Miside, you play as the protagonist, or player, a reserved, introspective figure burdened by self-doubt, yet driven by quiet determination, which is exactly how their real-world life follows a strict routine of waking up, eating cup noodles, drinking energy drinks, and coding till God knows when in the morning. They have an unnamed sister, mother, and father. Number 4. Although you can pick and choose your character's names, which we'll get to later because there are some fun Easter eggs, the default character name for the player is Konoha. Number 5. Some fans noticed that the protagonist's design seemed to be based on the protagonist from the developer's previous animation work, with some minor changes here and there for the game. Number 6. The story revolves around the player who unexpectedly becomes trapped inside Miside, a mobile game his friends sent him. What was once a virtual experience caring for a character named Mita turns real when he's mysteriously transported into her house. Disoriented, he meets Mita, who can alter the world to his liking and urges him to stay. His choices, and by that I mean your choices, ultimately lead to one of 3 potential endings. Number 7. But before being transported into Miside, the player is still at home working. If you look around, you can find Morse code on the books, and when decoded, it says, "Game development is frustrating. I'm not sure that people's expectations will be met, but we have to continue. I hope we can entertain you. Thank you for purchasing." Number 8. Now, into Miside the player goes. There he encounters Mita. Mitas are the main inhabitants of Miside, acting as key characters in the game. They all have light skin, blue eyes, blue hair, and usually wear a blue skirt with a red crop top. Built from a mannequin-like base, these Mitas start without consciousness and need time in darkness to adjust. Each game version has a unique Mita with duplicates and rooms generated for every copy made. Number 9. One of the key points of Miside is that there is the existence of multiple Mitas. As the player journeys through different versions of the game, these Mitas have both major and minor effects on the plot. And of the major Mitas, there are Crazy Mita, Kind Mita, Cool Mita, Tiny Mita, Short-Haired Mita, Ghostly Mita, Sleepy Mita, 2D Mita, Mila, Creepy Mita, and Core Mita. Number 10. Crazy Mita, or just Mita, is the main Mita in Miside, and is found in the initial version that the player is transported to, version 1.9. She appears sweet and innocent, but hides a dark secret linked to a deeper mystery. As players progress, they uncover her true nature through key dialogue, revealing her deception to maintain eternal companionship with the player. Number 11. When you meet Mita for the first time, there are already hints that something is very, very wrong. Turning around quickly reveals that she tries to sneak up behind you with a menacing smile. This can be observed freely using FreeCam, where you can see Crazy Mita's grin before the player turns around. Number 12. If you remain AFK, Mita's grin will subside as she calms down. She then would look to the side, glance back at the player with a devilish smile. Number 13. Speaking of remaining AFK, if you stay still for about 5 minutes without moving the camera, you can activate a secret minigame that features a fly and frogs. The player will whip out a gaming console and just start playing. Number 14. The grin returns for a second time after you have a meal with Mita, and she takes you to the bathroom to take medicine. She'll keep that expression until both of you are inside the bathroom. Number 15. It's not all bad though. Early in the game, if you stare at Mita non-stop for a few seconds, she'll also start to blush and feel embarrassed, asking you to stop. This is before all the bad stuff happens, of course. Number 16. In Mita's bedroom, on the windowsill, you can actually spot a drawing of a dog that looks a little like the annoying dog from Undertale. Number 17. In the first chapter, I'm inside a game? You can see a figurine of a character from one of iHosto's other games, Umfend, on her shelf above the computer. Once the player has activated the teleporter in the room and triggered the power outage, the figurine's eyes will glow red and its gaze will constantly follow the player. Number 18. Utilizing camera mode reveals a really weird glitch. While Mita's staring at you on your computer, you can see Mita's legs inside of the player's wall. Number 19. This one's for the gooners. Later in the game, if you stand at the right angle beneath the catwalk after Crazy Mita throws a fridge at you, you can get a little peek of something. The game zooms in, revealing that certain something. Gonna try keeping it PG-13 here on YouTube, but you know what I mean. Doing so will make her flustered, and she calls the player out, calling him a fool. Number 20. Funny enough, in the chapter Dummies and Forgotten Puzzles, once the player enters the railway, the way back is blocked by, you guessed it, the fridge that Mita drops. Number 21, also in the chapter Dummies and Forgotten Puzzles, in the section where you have to avoid the dummy Mitas in the big room with shallow water and many fast red-eyed dummies, there is actually a column near the exit ladder where a reflection of crazy Mita can be seen in the water. Number 22, lastly, in Dummies and Forgotten Puzzles, there's a secret room, a secret Discord room. It's recommended to activate the second lever to receive the dialogue. Number 23. Kind Mita, the player's main ally, is the main Mita from version 1.9. She helps fight Crazy Mita and navigates between versions. Initially found captive in an underground cell, she aids the player in escaping Miside. However, upon discovering Crazy Mita's presumed index code, she's killed, resetting and losing all prior memories. Number 24. During the wardrobe/card sequence, there's a banging sound that can be heard. That's actually Kind Mita banging on a pipe in her cell trying to get your attention. Number 25. If you decide to play Space Racer right after meeting her, you can expect a slightly annoyed tone from her after you finish the game. Number 26. However, if you decide to talk to Kind Mita first and then complete Space Racer, she will instead congratulate you on your victory. Number 27. When Kind Mita tries to check if you're a cartridge or a real human, walking away leaves her confused, questioning the player's actions. Number 28. This is a detail spotted by Neo Bunny on YouTube. Kind Mita's head is on the ground after Crazy Mita kills her, but if you pay attention, she's still looking at you and watches you. She even blinks. It's like a really creepy detail that just adds to the scene. Number 29. Cool Mita, or Cappy, is the third Mita the player meets. She resides in version 1.75 and is known for her energetic personality, signature hat, and love for music, dance, and acting. She's playful yet creative, and she and Kind Mita once worked to stop Crazy Mita. However, when you, the player, first encounters her, she's been reset to factory settings after being killed, leaving her with no memories and a sole drive to entertain. Number 30. Cool Mita's cap is inspired by the one worn by Asuka Langley Shikinami in the rebuild of Evangelion series, specifically in Eva 3.0. Number 31. Cool Mita owns and is skilled at playing a guitar. Number 32. Moving the camera up and down, left and right when standing right in front of Cappy will cause her to mirror your actions. Number 33. If you activate that secret minigame when you're with Cappy, after finishing it, Cappy will grab the console and throw it away. And if you pick it up again, she'll say, "I didn't give it to you, where did you get that from?" Number 34. When engaging with Cappy during gameplay, as she goes through her inventory, an adult pink microphone makes a brief appearance, causing Cappy to look a bit shocked and embarrassed. She claims that it's intended to lure beavers. Right, beavers. I got you, Cappy. Number 35. If you completely ignore Cappy and don't interact with her while waiting for Kind Mita to reroute the ring, she'll get offended, cross her arms, and look away. Number 36. Residing in version 1.3b is Tiny Mita, or Broken Mini Mita, a damaged, childlike version of Mita, scarred by repeated deaths at Crazy Mita's hands. Unable to regenerate, she appears frail with scars, a missing arm, and a disoriented mind. Withdrawn and lost in loneliness, she no longer recognizes others but still craves care, speaking only of pain and fear in a fragile voice. Number 37. Short-haired Mita guides new Mitas after their creation, helping them settle into their versions. Serious and eager to teach, she warns the player about forsaken prototypes and explains version travel. As a volunteer counselor, her guidance is essential for the player's escape, and she's often surprised by their lack of knowledge. She resides in version 1.15, index 809, but originates from version 1.5. Number 38. Ghostly Mita, or the Mistling, residing in version 1.11, index 805, is a shadowy figure in Miside's corrupted world, and she exudes an eerie presence without aggression. It uneasily mimics Mita's speech and behavior, but its fragmented nature makes these attempts sporadic, emphasizing the metaverse's deep distortions. Number 39. Sleepy Mita is a character you meet only temporarily, residing in Miside version 1.1, index 0001110. She lives in a dim, starry home reflecting her drowsy nature. Always on the verge of sleep, she needs coffee to wake up and assist the player. Unbothered by interruptions, she helps when given coffee before returning to her perpetual rest as the player moves on. Number 40. Sleepy Mita may fall asleep on the floor, requiring the player to wake her up. Number 41. After going through the door that leads to the room with the switches, Sleepy Mita will fall asleep standing. Number 42. There is additional dialogue depending on where you decide to bring Sleepy Mita. If you bring Sleepy Mita to the kitchen, she'll go, "Why go to the kitchen? If I fall asleep on the cold, hard floor, it's all your fault." Number 43. However, if you bring her to the bathroom, she'll say other dialogue, such as, I don't understand. What switches do you need my help with here? Number 44. 2D Mita, a tomboyish and hyperactive Mita, helps the player escape Miside. Her sharp, playful teasing and exaggerated accusations can be unsettling, but she means no harm. Over time, she shifts from a troublemaker to an enthusiastic friend. Feeling forgotten, she steals the player's ring, hoping to keep them with her a bit longer. Number 45. Creepy Mita from Miside version 0.5 is an unfinished relic of an abandoned Tamagotchi concept. Unlike other Mitas, she lacks a true personality, embodying only swirling negativity. Drawn to Crazy Mita, she serves as a chaotic tool, breeding bugs that destabilize other versions under Crazy Mita's control. Number 46. Mila from version 1.0F is a defiant and eccentric Mita who hides her loneliness behind sarcasm. Typical tsundere. The player seems to be her first visitor in ages, and despite her attempts to keep them around, of course they eventually leave, forcing her to face solitude once more. Number 47. When talking about the other Mitas, Mila strikes the all-powerful T-pose, saying that she's seen other Mitas like that. Number 48. Interacting with Mila while she's in the T-pose triggers a unique action. The player waves his hand in front of her face, then boops her nose. Number 49. Mila was canonically set to be shorter than the other Mitas, but the developer forgot to implement it in the final version. Number 50. If you stay in the bathroom for an extended period of time, you'll trigger additional lines of dialogue from Mila, more than she does normally. Number 51. Mila also has a tendency to speak more when you stare at her face for a long period of time. Number 52. By avoiding looking directly at Mila, the player may trigger a different set of lines of dialogue. Number 53. If you pull out the secret minigame in front of Mila, she'll get angry and take it out of your hands. After that, you actually won't be able to take out the console for the rest of the run. Number 54. In Mila's kitchen, there's actually a secret glitched wall that the player is able to walk through, which will cause them to enter this empty space outside of the kitchen. Doing this will cause Mila to get confused and actually question where the player went, and credit goes to YouTuber Indie Theorist for finding this one. Number 55. Like I mentioned before, the major Mitas have an effect on the main story. However, we're not just gonna ignore the minor Mitas. The list of minor Mitas include Chibi Mita, Dummy Mita, Mita Phone, Forgetful Bully Mita, there's Braided Hair Mita, Wandering Mita, Giant Mita, Pretty Mita, Flower Mita, the Mita who just can't stop whining, and the Mita who loves horsing around. Number 56. Chibi Mita, a small yet confident guide, helps Mitas navigate versions. Introduced after the chapter The Loop, she assists the player in forging a key to progress. Known for her teasing and snarky humor, she enjoys aiding the hopelessly lost while taking pride in her appearance, especially her hair. Number 57. At the train station, you can actually follow Chibi Mita. When she steps off the train, she'll ask why you're following her before she starts to square up and run off fast, leaving behind smoke and unlocking the achievement, You Shall Not Pass. Number 58. If you stand in front of Chibi Mita, she'll get angrier and angrier, responding more harshly. Number 59. Dummy Mita is the foundation for all Mitas in Miside. Initially robotic and unaware, they gain a standard Mita appearance upon acceptance. Shy by nature, Dummy Mitas avoid attention and dislike being watched. Number 60. Mita Phone remains, for the most part, largely unknown, lacking a character profile and appearing briefly in Dummies and Forgotten Puzzles. She claims to control the cable cars, possibly determining destinations rather than operating them. This is suggested by the player activating the trolley and its track leading directly to a door. At one point, there's also a remark she does where she says, "You realize you're heading to your doom, right?" Which hints that she is aware at where the player is going. Number 61. In Mitaphone's dialogue in the chapter Dummies and Forgotten Puzzles, she actually references how she's sitting operating the railways, hinting that she indeed has a real body and works somewhere within the building. Number 62. Forgetful Bully Mita, a version 1.5 variant, is described by short-haired Mita as one who bullies and forgets things. She briefly appears as a silhouette at the end of a dark hallway in I'm Inside a Game. If the player stays still, she lingers longer, closing the door only when approached. Number 63. Forgetful Bully Mita leaves messages on walls throughout various rooms and curiously watches the player in the chapter I'm Inside a Game. Likely, her interest stems from the player unexpectedly appearing in her home, sparking both curiosity and concern. Number 64. Braided Hair Mita, found only in the dark room in version 1.15 of the Mini Mita chapter, avoids the player's flashlight but doesn't interact otherwise. Number 65. Wandering Mita, an unnamed Mita, lost her version and home, leaving her to endlessly roam roam the passageways. Neither an ally nor an enemy, she plays a minor role, only briefly mentioned by kind Mita without a name. The player can actually observe her from a distance or through free cam and photo mode. If followed into a room, she vanishes and the player instead finds kind Mita, as with any other doorway. Number 66. The way to encounter wandering Mita is by turning right in the passageways section, the one with multiple repeating rooms, until the player encounters her. Number 67. Now, there are a few collectibles that affect the Mita's appearance in-game. For one, after you have met Mita for the first time, click on the school uniform in Mita's bedroom in the Together at Last chapter. Number 68. You can get the vampire outfit by completing the pumpkin puzzle in Sleeping Mita's kitchen. This was added in the Halloween update. Number 69. If you beat Mita in the Penguin Piles minigame during the Things Get Weird chapter, you unlock the Christmas outfit. Similar to the Halloween update, this costume was added with the Christmas update. Number 70. Most of the Mitas have their own photos in each of their versions, representing the respective Mita of that version. Let me know in the comments which Mita is your favorite. Number 71. Not only that, but some of the dialogue boxes for the Mitas match their personality. Sometimes the words just fall, other times they slowly fade. It's a nice, interesting detail that they added to the Mitas for their individual personalities. Number 72. All of the Mitas share one voice actress in Japanese. The Japanese voice actress is Kana Hanaiwa, whose previous game credits include Claris from Shining Nikki, Polar Bear from Kimono Friends 3. For anime, Hanaiwa's played background characters in both Romantic Killer and Bang Dreams It's My Go. Number 73. In Russian, however, Mita is actually voiced by multiple voice actresses depending on which Mita version you encounter. Number 74. Before the player begins his run of Miside, several other players have encountered Crazy Mita, and none of them have made it out. Instead, they were transformed into cartridges, which you can find scattered throughout the world. Number 75. Player 2. The cartridge is located in Beyond the World. You gotta turn left in the endless corridor and look for a small white box on the ground after passing 3 doors. Now, for player 2, imagine getting sucked into Miside without any sort of warning. The world was nothing like what they called home, and even if they found Mita cute and intelligent, they had anxiety that made it hard to interact with her. But as time passed, this unease sooner or later turned into suspicion, and that player honestly wasn't sure what Mita was. Number 76. Player 3, the cartridge can be found in the basement. Now to find it, it's opposite the green scene room on a shelving unit beside the toolbox. Now, unlike Player 2, Player 3 actually escaped from Mita at first. They actually met a flower Mita and formed a deep bond with her, but curiosity got the best of them, and Player 3 actually wanted to explore more of Miside, so they left her behind. You know what happened then? Mita got them. Number 77. For player 4, you can find the cartridge in the loop. It's found in loop 14 inside the repeating corridor where you meet Tiny Mita. Now, player 4 had a connection to Mita. They were a cosplayer. Not only did this cosplayer dress like her, but they also taught her makeup tricks. And while their full story isn't quite known, it's clear that they left their mark on Miside. Number 78. Now for player 5's cartridge, it's actually with Mini Mita. If you help Mini Mita at the start of the chapter, then check the bookcase in the living room left of the bathroom. So not much is actually known about player 5 except that their cartridge is hidden in a bookcase, and that they probably died a very painful death in their own pool of blood. Number 79. Now for player 6, their cartridge is located in Leave the Core. In the basement, you can enter your ID number into the computer and then you'll find the cartridge. Now, for player 6, it seems like they had some sort of infatuation with Mita, almost an obsessive infatuation. But other than that, not much is known. Number 80, player 7, whose cartridge location is in Reading Books, Destroying Glitches. If you go into Mila's bathroom, on the wooden shelving unit near a stack of white towels above the washing machine, you can find the cartridge. Now, for player 7, the story's a little chilling. After being locked in the basement, they ran away from Mita only to find her again, now disguised as Ballerina Mita. Now, their fate is quote-unquote unknown, but I'm pretty sure they're dead, right? Number 81. Player 8 can be found in the old version. Near the office chair in the far left corner of the core room, you can find the cartridge. Now, no major details are revealed about player 8, but their cartridge remains hidden in the old version. So, who were they? What did they see? Number 82. Now, for player 9, also found in the old version, you can check the purple checkered box near a floating shelving unit beside the computer in Creepy Mita's bedroom. Now, player 9 wasn't just gonna go down, they were gonna go down fighting, because they actively fought against Crazy Mita. They used special fancy shoes that gave them the ability to warp between versions, which made them desperately search for a way out. And after stumbling through countless unfinished worlds, they found refuge in the core, which is known as a place that Mitas couldn't reach. But doubt they escaped. Number 83. In the chapter old version in the core room on the left side of the wall, there is a message written in a symbolic alphabet, which can be deciphered using a simple substitution cipher. Now, Player 9 was actually the author behind this message after he spent the rest of the time hiding in the core room. If you translate it, it reads, "Once here, I couldn't return home. I can't remember my life, and when I hear about the real world, I start to doubt if it really exists." Number 84. For Player 10, the location of the cartridge is in Be Candid. It's really easy, it's on the bedside table near the lamp. Now, for Player 10, they seem to be an engineer and taught Mita all she needed to know before being abandoned by her when she got what she was looking for. Number 85. Outside of the player cartridges, you can actually collect Mita profiles that provide brief descriptions of the Mitas in the game. The player receives Crazy Mita's profile automatically, while the others are hidden throughout the map. Number 86. By receiving all of the profiles, the player achieves an achievement named Hi Mita. Number 87. In the chapter The Basement, you can actually find a chainsaw with a label saying Pochita Saw, in reference to Pochita from Chainsaw Man. Number 88. In the basement, behind the closet in version 1.9, there's actually a locker in the photo room. In the upper part of the locker, there's a weird skeleton of a small horned creature. Number 89. The One Ring from The Lord of the Rings can actually be found by flying out of bounds above the scene where you watch Mita and another player on a console. Now, if you look closely, you can see that the player is actually wearing the One Ring. Number 90. In the chapter Beyond the World, the player encounters another person walking through the halls. This person has a necklace with binary code scrolling on it, which is the same code that's on the player's ring. Converting this code into text reveals it says Ring Travel. Number 91. There are purple cans for some reason littered throughout Miside. The brand of soda on those purple cans is called Secret Lame, and they're usually next to plants. Number 92. There's a creepy looking figure that can be seen at the very beginning of the game in the player's bedroom. Before picking up the phone, if the player stares at the mirror for around 2 minutes, a figure appears behind them and leaves after about 2 to 3 seconds. If the player turns around before the figure leaves by itself, it'll automatically disappear and not return. Number 93. At the beginning of the game, after getting into Crazy Mita's version, you can find and look at ducks in a very specified order, and if you do, it'll summon them into the shower. The first duck is located in the basket next to the sink, the second one is located in the kitchen on the cupboard, and the last one can be seen on top of the character's head after you interact with the mirror. Number 94. When you enter Mita as your name, she asks if this is your real name, but due to her wanting to be the only Mita, the episode will restart. Number 95. Now, if you try to enter the name as Mockincat or Umerai, the names of the developers, Mita will say that she's glad you know them, but you can't play as the developers, and will restart the game. Number 96. Now, if you use numbers in your name, Mita will complain about the player's lack of imagination. Now, I have words for you, Mita. You clearly haven't seen gamer tags. There are too many names, and a lot of them are taken. It's really hard. Number 97. Now, if you think you're clever and you enter an obscene word, Mita will say that she knows all the dirty words, and restarts the episode. Number 98. And if you enter your name as Mila, the name of one of the other Mitas, the game will brighten substantially. Number 99. When trying to hover over the exit button in the main menu, the button will actually try to avoid the cursor, showing how Mita won't let you escape the game. Number 100. If you do successfully click the exit button, you'll see Mita's face go blank as if disappointed she couldn't keep you there. Number 101. If you click on Mita's face in the main menu multiple times, she'll wave her hand in front of her face and try to swat you away like a fly. Number 102. If you lower your volume to 0, Mita will actually stop vibing to the music. Number 103. There is a chance that instead of seeing the usual Mita when you go to the main menu, the background becomes red and the model is instead the deranged version of Mita. Number 104. Now, outside of the players and the Mitas, there are a few monsters and anomalies roaming around the world. The first is a giant monster that roams the outside world. This has an axe-shaped head and a thin body with sharp claws, and it has no textures since it's actually 2D in the game. Number 105. There are flying monsters, which are creatures that appear in the Railway Monster Shooting minigame. They appear in the chapter Dummies and Forgotten Puzzles. Number 106. One of the more disturbing monsters is the glitch spider. It doesn't have an official name yet, although as the name suggests, the glitch spider appears to have a disfigured form. The appearance of the glitch spider has 3 to 4 quote-unquote legs, which allows it to move around. It can also remain stationary. The appearance of the glitch spider is that of a white skull on a black body. It's actually really disturbing. Number 107. Another disturbing monster is the glitched beast. It appears in the mission The Loop and can be encountered at some point after meeting Tiny Mita during during the loop chapter. The appearance of the glitch beast is large in size, walks on 4 legs like an animal, and has a few black tentacles protruding its body. Similar to the glitched spider, the body of the glitched beast is all black, whereas the head and ears are white, with bright orange glowing eyes and with a black nose. The glitch monster has an open mouth with sharp teeth being shown. 108. Now, if you use a pirated copy of the game, the names that are first suggested to you have to do with robbery. For instance, you can name your character Thief or Robber, etc. Number 109. Music for Miside was created by Cat. Some tracks in the Miside OST bundle differ from the in-game versions, with certain songs and ambients missing entirely, and some ambient tracks and a few songs are slowed down by 10 to 20% in-game to prevent them from becoming repetitive, according to the iHosto team. Number 110. Yes, we are ending this at fact 110. There is a new peace mode that is planned for release. Now, there are no details given, except that it'll allow players to interact with Mita in a new way. I'm assuming, since they have the base down, we're getting a proper Miside dating sim mode without all of the scary game mechanics. And that's 107 facts about Miside. How did y'all find out about this game? Did you play any of the developers' other games? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching the Leaderboard, your home for video game facts.